Are we live?
Hey, welcome to another edition of Cheap Shots, and we are here to cure your insomnia. Um, Luther Broughton, former Philadelphia Eagles tight end, former Carolina Panthers tight end. Welcome to
Thanks
another
for
edition
having
of
us.
Cheap Shots, and we are here to cure your and there's an echo that is not cool with me.
What is happening right now?
Are you getting an echo?
Yes.
It's so annoying. It went away. It went away.
Oh, that was good.
So Luther, if you're an Eagles fan, which I know you are, you have to be happy with last night's game. Carson Wentz played really well, and they lost. Which
Listen,
they
Carson.
did.
Yeah, I'm happy because he played 100% of the plays, and that's all I care about with Carson Wentz. I don't hate him and want him to fall off the side of a cliff. I'm not rooting for him. Like he's not like Dawkins, where I rooted for Dawkins in Denver. Like I'm whatever with Carson. I thought he was
No, but
kind
you
of
have to you have to kind of
no.
root for him one way or the other with the draft
No, I
pick.
want him to play. Like I said, he played 100% of the game last night. All he needs to do is play 75% of the game. Even if they don't make the playoffs, if he plays 75%, we get what we want. So I can be whatever with Carson, and yeah, you're right. I'm happy because he played a lot and they lost, which means our pick would be even better.
Right, but if he plays like complete dog crap, um, he's going to face being benched, which is going to affect your draft pick. Like you want him to play well, but they lose. Like if you're an Eagles fan, because of their draft pick, you
Yeah,
want him to play well and lose.
I
It
guess
wasn't his
whatever.
fault they lost.
I
He,
mean,
he actually looked sharp.
he looked the best he's looked in a long time last night. But I don't want to talk about him if we're talking about quarterbacks from
Okay,
last night.
okay.
I want to talk about Lamar Jackson. My
Okay.
God. He was sick last night after being careless with the ball early on. He was sick. He was absolutely he was sick. He had all types of viruses last night. He was sick.
Luther, do you think he runs better than Michael Vick?
I don't. What do you mean better?
As far as a runner, Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick?
What do you mean faster? Like, or is he more elusive?
I didn't say faster. I'm just saying as a
like
runner, who do
that,
you think
like
is a
that.
better runner?
That's such a loaded question. They're they're both so different. They're completely different. Michael Vick is so fast, so fast. Um,
Lamar Jackson might be
oh
faster.
God, he got foul tipped in the nuts. Oh, that hurts from here.
Someone's
Goodness,
watching baseball.
straight balls. No, I looked up and saw baseball took a nut, and that I feel bad for the guy. That
And
could
that
be
arouses you. I get it. I get it.
Osama bin Laden. I feel bad for the guy. Oh my gosh, good thing for that huge cup. He still rolled around a little bit. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is faster than Vic. I have no idea. Vic was like ridiculously fast. So that's like saying
They're different runners. I get it. You
fast guy
don't have
is
to get upset
faster.
about it.
No, saying a really fast guy is faster than another guy is like what? Because I'm saying like Michael Vick is really fast, and you're like, I think Lamar is faster. Like, I don't know. Michael Vick didn't get caught. So I don't know. But I don't care to talk about the comparison of Vic and Lamar Jackson right now. I just want to talk about Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Like that was
You're very upset at me.
No, I like we have like we live in a microwave age where people want things to happen right here and right now. Well, can we talk about the game last night and not this ridiculous comparison? Whatever.
Yes. Okay. I was just asking you a question.
Listen, he threw for like 340 in the second half in overtime.
I know.
And of course, the Colts were down like 2 or 3 cornerbacks, but he lit them up all over the field. And Luther Broughton and black and white Luther Broughton lit them up. Can I call myself a really good tight end? I'm Mark
Black
Andrews.
and white Luther
No,
Broughton?
he is white Luther Broughton, Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews?
I love
you
him.
wish. You freaking wish.
Exactly. He's not that tall. He's more of a receiver. I'm calling him white Luther Broughton. Or I could be black Mark Andrews, whatever. He lit them up. And then I feel good for Hollywood Brown after
I love Hollywood Brown.
Everything a few weeks ago. He had a tough night. And he's come back really strong the past few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And God, man, Lamar Jackson looks so good. And I'm so sick of them talking about his not being able to throw and only a runner, or is the league caught up with him every week for the past 32 football games? Are you not sick of that? Has he not won an MVP and proved that he's a good football player? I'm really tired of it. They designed their game. If you know what? If Peyton Manning can run like that, they would design a game plan to get his legs some work as well. Don't you agree?
I couldn't agree more about the fact that this guy does X, Y, Z. Let's design our game plan around him. And again, we're Eagles fans. So you have Jalen Hurts, who is he Peyton Manning? No. And is he ever going to be? No.
Correct.
Well, then just can you design something around what he does?
Remember we talked about this off the air when I told you when I got traded back to the Philly. Andy Reid called me in the office and he said, look, we got to improve on some things, right? He said, but there are a lot of things that you can do that a ton of tight ends can't do. Are you the biggest guy? No.
You never told me this.
Really well. I told you this. I told you, Andy said, we're going to run. He said,
Andy Reid, just to be clear to anyone that doesn't know.
Okay.
All right. Well,
he said, we're going to do things that you do well. He said, I'm not asking you to block Reggie White on a strong side run play. I'm going to design some plays to get you spread out a little bit. And if they want to play their linebackers against you, I'm going to throw you the ball. And I was like, oh, I've never heard a coach tell me, hey, you're good at this and we're going to use it. They all said, you suck at blocking and you can't play.
But that was the game back then, Luther. That was a one tight end. You had one tight end.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying if I was playing nowadays, I probably would have been a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I would fit.
Andy
more.
would love you now. Oh, he would. Could you imagine if you were a second tight end to Kelsey right now? He would love you.
Oh, I would totally average 2 catches.
You might share a hotel room with Andy.
No. No. Wouldn't be enough food for the both of us.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, man, you're right. Why are we making Jalen Hurts play like Peyton? We shouldn't, and we don't, do we? We do pass a lot.
And I think it was brilliant of John Harbaugh to say, all right, this is our dude. And originally, obviously he's not there anymore. All right, we're gonna have him. We're gonna have Mark Ingram and anybody else. And we're going to run, and we're going to find ways to run
the ball.
And you're going to have to figure it out.
And last night broke their streak of 100-yard rushing games. What do they have, like 100 straight? They run the ball.
Yeah.
Dude, that works. And you know that running defense, now their defense looks banged up. They've lost a few guys, but dude, I mean, I know Indy wasn't healthy on the defensive side, but man, Lamar Jackson, man, good. He was sick last night. I loved watching that last night.
And I just love him in general. I really do.
No rain delay, no weather delay. So I didn't have to stay up half the night.
Jesus Christ, I had to go to bed Sunday night.
Dude.
I was like, all right, I can't do this.
And I want to watch that game. I was like, dude, am I going to be my granddad and say, screw it and just catch the score in the morning?
I've been that guy. And by the way, when we're talking about, and I had this conversation with a good friend of mine about who's that good. Are the Bills that good? They might be that good.
Oh, the Bills are really good, but the Chiefs' defense is really bad.
Terrible.
The
It's
Eagles
so
scored
bad.
30 something
I
against them.
know.
They're really bad, Micah.
Their defense
They're
is
really
horrific.
bad. Micah, they're bad. Like
And
they
but you know what, Luther?
they can't
Mahomes
fix
didn't look that good either.
He looked fine to me. He didn't look like
He missed a lot of passes.
I mean, he looked fine to me. They just gave up 1,000 points.
All right, he wasn't Mahomes to me.
Yeah, well, fine. He wasn't like a 12 on a scale of 1 to 10. He was an 8. I mean, they typically win with that.
So Bills
and the defense was like a 1. But the Bills, I think the Bills are really good. You remember week 1, I was like, they lost to Pittsburgh, but I was like, man, it's still the
at
preseason.
home.
It's still the preseason. Give it a little bit. Because that damn quarterback they have, speaking of quarterbacks,
Jesus.
What does he have on his shoulder?
I know.
Dude,
the pass he threw to Knox across his body going out of bounds, and I was like, "What are you throwing that for?" And then I'm like, "Okay."
And then the ball is like handed there. The one to Emmanuel Sanders when he's in the pocket did a little escape, and then he just does this, and it's like look. I'm not like how I am. I'm always downplaying stuff, right? Because
I was never a huge Josh Allen fan, and the more he does, I'm like.
I'm not making myself a huge Josh Allen fan. I'm just talking about that arm and that and the.
But he's got legs. He's got everything. Luther.
I'm trying to get that up. That arm is a cannon, right? What does he have on his shoulder? But then he's like Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
He's big and fast like Cam. Yeah. Is he as fast as Cam? I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know if
he's not as big. He's not as big and strong.
He's huge.
Cam is bigger and stronger just by the eye. I don't even know what the numbers are.
Josh Allen is huge, though. I mean, I know you've been staring at Cam Newton's shirtless pictures a lot,
and I enjoy it a lot.
Josh Allen is huge. I really want to look up his stats, right? His.
Then do it. I don't care.
I don't have two screens right now. He's sick. And then when you go from Josh, please no double play. Yes,
Luther's watching baseball.
Listen, Micah, and then so let's stay in the AFC with quarterbacks.
Okay.
And let's go
Herbert.
out west. Let's go out west.
Herbert.
And you got Justin Herbert out there looking like he's in his 6th year and he's done this before.
Dude, he looked like that last year. This guy is freaking from day one. It was like, all right, Tyrod, you ain't getting your job back.
And they finally started to utilize Mike Williams more down the field. He's a monster.
Love Mike Williams. Don't forget he was the 5th overall pick a few years ago.
Well, I know who he is. He's a South
Carolina. I know you know who. I get it. He's from. We have an audience, by the way. It's not just you and I.
Yeah, he's from the crib. Yeah, and our audience knows he's a Clemson guy. And then, so we're not even getting to the old guys yet. I mean, you got Russell Wilson, even though he broke his finger. He's done. The Seahawks are done. He was still playing really well. And then you got Brady, who's throwing for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. We can't talk about him enough. And then you got Aaron Rodgers, who just makes everything look so easy. And then you got Matt Stafford. The quarterback position is – I'm excited.
Kyler Murray's playing well.
Kyler Murray. How did I forget him? Kyler Murray. Like, I really was like, what are the Cardinals doing? Taking another quarterback and this really tiny guy? Is this going to work?
They figured out Rosen was garbage pretty soon. And now the entire league is finding out
that we can go ahead and not treat him like he's a 6'8" guy and stand him behind his pocket, and we're going to move him and do stuff. And like we said earlier, have a guy do what he does, bro. Have a guy do what he does. What quarterback? I'm missing somebody. Somebody obvious.
Dak's up there at this point.
Dak Prescott is playing. He's a year removed from that foot injury, and he looks like the same Dak, bro.
He does, and he's in the discussion of all these other quarterbacks.
Oh,
I don't see it in the South. Am I missing something?
Who's in the South?
Darnold, Winston.
In the South, that's
Ryan
not,
is
that's not the South.
Yes, it is. It's NFC South.
NFC South. I'm thinking of freaking the guy from Tennessee.
No, the AFC South sucks too. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Trevor is developing, and we know he's
a young guy.
He's really going to be a stud at some point. He really is.
I think Trevor's.
I'm not in love with Tannehill. I know you get mad. You know, my buddy Joe, who tells us all the time.
Oh my God!
If Henry doesn't run well, the Titans aren't that good. He's right though, Luther.
Dude,
when Henry doesn't have a good game,
that's the most Captain Obvious thing ever. Yes.
Oh God, Freddie Freeman must have got a base hit.
No, we scored 2 runs to tie it up. Anyways, yes. I don't want to ever talk about that again.
But he's right, Luther.
Dude, if their running game doesn't go, they're not going to do anything because their offense is predicated so hugely on their running game.
So what other team can you tell me when their run game goes into the toilet that they can't win? I would say number 1 is Tennessee.
Okay, and they've got arguably the best freaking cowbell carrier in the league. That's what they do.
I get it, but that means your quarterback and wide receivers aren't that good.
And you know what they did? They have AJ Brown. They traded for Julio. Who is he ever going to be healthy? They worked on improving.
AJ hasn't been healthy.
I'm sorry, bro. They went to the damn championship game last year. I'm not.
No, they did not.
I'm not bitching about what
the Bills did. It wasn't
the championship game. They went to the divisional playoffs. So whatever. Okay. With whoever their quarterback is. Are we going to really complain about that? Nah, because the Eagles suck. The Panthers suck. So whatever. I wish somebody could say if we shut down the Eagles' run game, then we kill them. We shut down our own run game. That's a different story. And that's just exhausting to sit here and yell at a fucking coach and tell him to run the ball and tell him that his running back shouldn't have 4 carries. Why do we?
It's insanity. Honestly, it's insanity. I really don't care that the game's changed. I get it. It's a passing league. I get it. That doesn't mean you freaking run the ball 4 times.
Fine. You know what? If that's the case, Micah, you know what you do? Run some regular running back screens, maybe. Fine. If it's a passing game, run some running back screens. Run the little flare routes to the running back. Anything. No. Let's throw some wide receiver screens where we're outnumbered. Or let's just run out of the shotgun on short yardage. And I hope he gets better. I hope he's trying some things.
So what happened?
This dude's tape study, clearly he plays Madden all night.
So here's my question, Luther. What are the odds that Sirianni has 1 year in Philadelphia?
Not a chance. They fired Peterson. Lurie fired Peterson and basically handpicked.
Sort of. I think Peterson was like, yeah, right, peace.
Yeah, he did that, and he basically handpicked this guy. He ain't admitting that unless Andy calls him and say, look, I'm sick of Kansas City. I want to come back. That's not happening.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or who else? Belichick is like, I'm sick of New England. Like, can I just come and coach Philly? I miss cheesesteaks. That's
And,
not going to happen.
and for people that don't know, the Eagles have, if it's not the youngest coaching staff in the NFL, I'd be shocked. I think
Look,
Sirianni's like 42 years old. Um, the
look,
special
man.
teams coordinator is like 28 years old. It's a bunch of children.
Look, man. If the guy would run the ball more than 2 times a game, I wouldn't be as hard on him. I would be able to overlook some of the other glaring stuff, like the unprepared team, that team that looks like they didn't practice all week.
But Luther, let me ask you as a former player, how would you feel if the coaching staff that you're playing, you're a relatively young guy. How would you
If they're younger than me,
no, when you played, you didn't play
no,
the year
I'm
when
trying
you
to
were
guess your
45.
question. Yeah,
No, that does happen though sometimes.
you
But
let that.
and so yeah, like Sean Landetta. But how would you feel if your coaching staff and the people that are supposed to be leading you into battle or whatever you want to say, whatever, are that young? You trust them?
You have to. You have to respect them, right? You have to.
But what's in
Now,
your head? What's in
you
your
might
mindset?
you might go home. Okay, you trust them because you're going to give them the chance to do their jobs, right? And you're going to listen to them, and you're walking with their wide open. I'm ready. And then by week 5, you go, this guy doesn't know when to challenge, or this guy doesn't run the ball, or this guy doesn't drill us on 2-minute drill, or this guy doesn't do anything when we jump off sides. If you've been in the league a while and you know better, you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Guys aren't stupid.
Right.
If it's me and I'm a rookie, that's all I know. But I also could say my coach in college was more prepared than this. Guys are going to see it, right?
And do you talk?
Yes, you talk.
Okay.
You absolutely talk. You go home and we hang out. Some of us hang out together. Like during the week, you're tired. Practice is long on Wednesday and Thursday. So maybe like Monday, when there's no practice, there's film, and no practice on Tuesday. Typically, we might get together at someone's house, or we might go and have meal or whatever. And we go, bro, coach is kind of stupid. You might do that.
All right. So let us inside the player's head. What do you guys talk about in general? Whether it's about the coaches or whatever, when players get together, what do you guys talk about?
Women.
That's okay, fine.
Women. We talk.
But you have to. But in regards to the team,
to the team, like we're going to talk about the same stuff that you would talk about if you were in college, right? You were on a team in college. You guys get together.
I wasn't on a team in college, and most of our listeners are not on a team in college. You got to a level that nobody else got to. So
people were on teams in college and high school. You have a camaraderie, and you do, and especially in high school, you get together at one of the guys' house, and somebody's mom is cooking or whatever. You're playing video games, and you're talking about the game and what's going on, and you go, coach did a really good job. Like, man, he called a hell of a game, and blah blah blah. I messed up this, that, or the other. Or you go, coach is stupid.
So like, typical work shit like you would with your coworker.
Correct. What we was doing on 3rd and 5? Why did we run that play and we didn't audible? Why did we rush a play and the clock was running down? We weren't ready. We could have called a timeout. Why didn't we go for it at the 35? Like, we talk. Like, and plus it's intimate. We know exactly what's going on. We're not guessing like commentators or fans. We know what's going on, right? So we're like, dude, but then there's nothing you can do either, because let's say we're sitting there talking about Andy, since that was my coach, and Andy, we're getting it going, and let's say it's a group of us that are like, man, he ain't getting fired. We gotta do what we gotta do until it improves, right?
Right.
It's not like we're gonna go to the owner and get him fired. That's not happening. right? And then
You're gonna go see Jeffrey Lurie at the front of the plane.
yeah, Luther's going to see Jeff. I'm not McNabb.
Hey,
You know,
Jeff, I got some things I want to get off my chest. Well,
right?
and you have to be careful when you say it. And I don't know if you want to repeat this. I don't know if you ever said this on Cheap Shots before, but when you just said on the sidelines, I hope they run some plays for me today. And I don't remember who it was, and I don't know if you want to say who it was that ran to Andy and was like, Luther's bitching about.
I think it was Sean McDermott.
I thought it was Shermer.
No, it was McDermott because he was the
really.
He was the defensive quality control, and we were just
who's
messing
now
around.
the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Just so you know,
around. It was me and Nate Brown, and Andy had put in a
Nate
couple
Brown
plays for me to go early. And the defense was in something else, and we weren't able to surprise them because we were going to put me out wide where I usually just run a clear route. And Andy told me to get loose because he was going to run me on a 9. And he's like, he's like,
Can you explain to our audience what a 9 is, please?
A 9 is a fly route. And he's a go route out wide. He was like, I don't care if it's a corner over there. They keep peeking when you're out there. You go by them. And we didn't run it. And I'm over there messing around with Nate because we fool around. It's early. We ain't getting our ass beat yet where we're serious. And I'm like, man, I need Andy to call these plays. Let's go. And Nate was like, yeah, I got me one too in the red. And I guess he heard me and he thought I was complaining about the play call. Dude, Andy called me in his office on Monday. And I said, Andy, you know me. I said, no, I said it was just me and Nate. And he knew we clowned around me, especially me and Nate or me and Rashard Cook or even me and Donovan. I said, no, we were fooling around about the couple plays because it was my name was in the play call. It was Lou something. And I said, Andy,
you said they had Luther packages.
Yeah. And I said, nah, Andy, that's all it was. I said, I literally said, come on, Andy. I said, I'm a backup tight end on a team. I said, you know me. And he was like, all right, that's kind of what I thought. But when that
was he cool with it?
Yeah. He said, but he did say, watch what you're saying on the sideline. He said, because just like that happened, he was like, he was like, I know how you guys are. But Andy knew, like, we had a camaraderie. I knew that team was going to be good. And he was like, watch what you're saying, because, you don't want somebody to bring something like this. Something like this to me. And I said, you're good. I said, all right. I said, good. I said, we good? And he was like, we're good. And that was that. Like, I had a good relationship with them. That was that. But that's the thing. You can't be talking about no coaches on the side, talking bad about coaches on the sideline.
I think if I remember the story that you told me was you guys were joking around, just saying, I hope they give me some plays today. Like
it wasn't even that. I was like, I hope they call the play. Come on, we gotta call that thing, right? And because the drive came and we didn't call it.
It was McDermott, not Shermer?
No, it was McDermott. And I knew why we didn't call it. We were messing around. We knew if they were in a certain defense, it wasn't happening. And we knew that. We were just we were messing around. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, dude.
So look, Luther, before we get out of here, will you tell the story? I mean, if anybody knows anything about the Eagles, the 2000 season in at Pittsburgh, you guys were dead in the water, and you had to get onside kicks.
Oh.
And by the way, before you get into that, like anybody that wants to look into that game, oh man, one of those kick returns, Luther was oof. I don't know what that was, Luther. You stuck your arm out and spun around.
Oh, I was terrible.
And you said you heard about it.
Oh, Harbaugh gave it to me, bro. He was like, Luther, what the fuck was that? And because I got like, dude, I ended up in kind of in the open field, and
it was an open field situation.
Yeah, and I was like, am I going to push him back this way, that way? And I ended up doing nothing. And by the time he got up on me so fast, I was like, And I was like, dude, I was embarrassed in the middle of the play. And I was like, Lou, what the hell, bro? What kind of athleticism is that?
I
Like,
have that game on DVD. I remember I
dude,
text
it
you and
was
you're like,
so
dude, I heard
I
so
will
much shit
never
about
forget
that.
that because Harbaugh lit into me, bro. Harbaugh was like, Luther, what the fuck was that?
So for people that don't know, the Eagles were dead in the water. They had to get you had to get two of them.
We had
Really,
to
you
get
were down 10.
a score, and an onside kick, and we
Yeah.
scored. And so Tim Houck, you guys know Tim Houck.
Timmy Houck.
Tim Houck was a safety, and he was the safety in on the kickoff team. So the safety is on the end. They'll hang back a little bit in case the team scoops up the onside kick, right? And he's at the 1, which if you're counting from the sideline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? He's the L1, the left 1. And I'm the L3, and I gotta go in there and hit or try to get the ball. So we're standing there, and Houck is like, Lou, let's switch right now. And I'm looking at him because I'm like, man, Harbaugh already cussed my ass out.
Right, you're still a young
He
guy.
already cussed my ass out once. And he said, I got you. I'll tell Jimmy, I'll tell Johnny I switch you, right? He said, you got the safety. Don't let them get by you if they recover that. He said, I'm getting this motherfucker. We need this win. And he wasn't like a guy with language. He didn't curse and stuff. He said, I'm getting this motherfucker. So I'm standing there. I said, all right, I got you. So I'm standing, and Tim is like ready. Dude, they kicked that bitch off. Oh, I'm cursing a lot tonight.
I know, but you've been good in general, though. I'm impressed, Luther. You've been good.
And dudes got their little block, and all you can see is Tim. And you know he was about this big compared to me.
He was buck 80.
Beeline to the ball. 4 seconds later, Tim stands up with the ball. And I'm like,
false start.
Dude, I'm like, I wouldn't have gotten it. No, we got it.
No, you had to get it twice.
Oh, and we had to get it twice.
I know. I remember the game.
Second time, I think he told me. No, he got it twice. He got it.
He got it twice.
He got it both times. And Harbs was like, "Y'all switched on that, did you?" And I said, "Yeah." Tim wanted to get the 3. He was like, "It worked." He didn't say a word.
He's not going to get too mad. He's not going to get too mad if it worked.
He didn't say a word. Hell, Tim was probably older than him. He didn't say a word. He was like, "Hey, but you know what he said? He said, you guys can switch on these special teams. Make sure you talk about it and know what you're doing." Like, we didn't just go swapping around and stuff. Those are kind of interchangeable type things, but yeah, man, that was fun. That was a good team to be on, a good coaching staff. Learned a lot from Andy O, Big Red. But so what I do want to do, Micah, yes. I don't want to be on here all night. So we
go. Well, whatever you want to do.
No. We hadn't been on long, but we get to yapping. But I want to transition into basketball a little bit, bro.
Okay. We have a fantasy basketball team together, Luther, and you don't even care.
No. Let's not talk about that because I'm not gonna tell the fans what you did. Kyrie Irving, bro.
Wait, what did I do?
Kyrie Irving. You asked me to help you with a fantasy team,
and you bailed on the draft.
No. You called me on draft day. You didn't sign me up as the second owner. You didn't give me any rules or anything. I'm begging you.
I don't know the rules either, Luther.
Exactly, and you want me to pick? That's like asking me to pick a fantasy football league, and I don't know if it's PPR. And then you kept asking
not exactly
me to
the
pick,
same.
I don't know. You changed, and then you kept asking me to, and I was like, if LeBron is here coming back up, we got to get LeBron. And you kept asking me like 12 other names, and LeBron was available, and I'm like, Micah, I don't know what you want me to say. So then coming back up. It was like 4 players, and one was LaMelo Ball. I was like, easily LaMelo Ball. He gets 14, 8, and 8 a night.
I would have taken him.
And you're like, no, I'm not taking Ball at this point. He's not ready. And
I didn't say that.
And I was like, if you can do the draft yourself, go ahead and do it. So,
by the way, Luther Broughton is a draft bailer. He gets frustrated and he just bails on stuff.
Dude, you didn't give me a sign-in. You didn't sign me up as an additional coach.
I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to. But let's
So,
go back to
right.
let's go back to basketball then.
Yeah, let's go back to real basketball. Kyrie Irving is about to give up half of his $30 million a year.
Is he gonna though? Is he really?
He doesn't want. Dude, Kyrie digs in. Kyrie is not going to get vaccinated.
Which, as a message to our viewers,
you can do what you want.
All four of them. Get freaking vaccinated. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Listen.
Get vaccinated.
These people have so many vaccinations, most of them, and then they're talking about this one where
you got the MMR, and that was okay.
Where they have to go do research. Do you mean confirmation bias? Do you need more confirmation bias? Because you're not researching. Research takes years and years.
I was in school for 12 years, but you're going to go Google something. You went to Google University.
Facebook and Google University, Facebook State and Google
Facebook State.
And you're going to get all this information, this confirmation bias. I don't want to argue with you about your vaccination, right? I think you should get it. You don't. I know. I get it. I don't. I'm not arguing with you. You don't live in my house. You're not married to me. I don't have to debate with you.
You say that now.
I want you to get it, but don't get it. That's fine. We're getting it in our house. And you know what? I truly believe that it helps you from getting super sick. And all the people, not all the people, a lot of people that don't want it is like, people have breakthroughs all the time. Yes. They didn't say the vaccine keeps you from getting COVID ever. They're saying it helps you from getting COVID, but more importantly, it helps keep you out of the hospital. You can still get it.
The flu shot doesn't prevent the flu. It just makes it way less worse.
It's not right. It's not COVID prevention shot. But listen, man, Kyrie, he's digging in over something that can help him. Like,
how long do you think? Like Wiggins even said, "Fine."
Dude,
Andrew Wiggins even got the shot.
I thought I had so much to say about this. I'm speechless.
And look, even this is a completely unrelated matter, but at the same time, Ben Simmons, after everything, even is coming back to Philly because he's getting cost.
They called his bluff.
He's getting paychecks. He's missing paychecks.
We're not paying you. And you know what? The same agency that's getting sued by Noel Nerlens for not accepting that deal is Rich Paul and guys is Ben's agent, and they're going to pull a power move. They're going to try to pull a Harden and see what they can do. Man, look.
I just wonder. I wonder how long. It's an interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. Paychecks versus you not wanting to get a vac. What do you think is? Do you hate needles? Okay, we can have that discussion. Do you think the vaccine's going to make you sick? Sicker than COVID, like being in a hospital?
Dude, these guys get shots to play, like Toradol shots and stuff like that. They don't research that.
Okay, Luther, I'll ask you this.
It's become so political. That's why.
Of course. But Luther, I'll ask you this. When you played in the NFL, what shots did you have to have? You probably had to have some, right?
I had to have shots to go to elementary school.
No, we all did. But I'm saying in the NFL,
those are the vaccinations we had to have. No, once you get past that, there's no more vaccinations. That was it. But this is a new pandemic. This is one more vaccination to add to the ones. When's the last time somebody had chickenpox?
No,
exactly.
Okay. You have an 18-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. My daughter's 5, so it's different. Did she ever have chickenpox?
No.
Okay.
No. I remember a few people having chickenpox when I was in elementary school, just a few. And then,
You never had it?
I never had it.
You never had chickenpox?
I never had chickenpox.
Is that a white people thing?
No, people had chickenpox. But then
I for
everyone
sure
got
had it.
vaccinated. And
There was no chickenpox vaccine when I was ever.
There's a vaccine. That's why people don't.
There is now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people don't get chickenpox.
Right.
Because there's a vaccine.
But you're a few years older than me. How did you never have chickenpox?
You don't have. I never had COVID either, and my wife did. You don't have to have it.
No, but everybody our age had chickenpox.
No, not everybody. Everybody didn't have chickenpox. Not everybody.
You know, people used to have like chickenpox parties
to get for herd immunity.
No, for everyone to get it at the same time. Be like, all right, fine, everybody get it, and then it's over. Yeah, I never had that.
No, that's a white.
Is that a white people thing?
Yeah, that's a white people thing.
Okay, because I never even experienced.
It's like chicken and watermelon for us. You guys have vaccinate. Guys have pox parties. Yeah.
So you're comparing chicken and watermelon, fried chicken and watermelon, to chicken pox parties?
One's white and one's black.
I get, but I don't think that's that's the same thing.
It's not.
Look, I could be honest. Like
it's a ridiculous generalization. That's
okay. Fair enough. Because I never had that. But you've eaten fried chicken and watermelon, so
I've never had watermelon. I've had fried chicken every now and then, but I got it was at my
be honest.
It was at my white friend's house.
Do you like fried chicken?
Absolutely. And who else likes fried chicken?
White people.
All my southern white friends love it. And
not
most
southern.
of my freaking northern white friends love it.
Everybody loves
I don't know
chicken.
how that became like the black thing. And it's
I don't either.
Listen, I can dig some comedy, especially racial comedy. Whatever. I don't know how that became like a black thing. I don't.
I don't either. I love
all my friends like fried chicken. And
the only reason I don't
watermelon too.
The only reason I don't like watermelon is it gives me indigestion. Otherwise, it's fantastic as a flavor and eat food. It just gives me indigestion.
I'm fat. I don't get indigestion. I just eat.
That's just my thing. But fried chicken is fantastic. Why is that a black thing?
I don't know, bro. It's funny. It's like if if you're a comedian, you can knock that out. That's funny as hell.
But they all make jokes about like, oh, a fried chicken black thing, and I'm like, I don't think that's a.
And what's funny is if you say that to like a young kid, they'll be like, huh? That doesn't make sense.
Like, have you had the Popeyes fried chicken sandwich?
I have not.
Are you serious?
I have not. So when it first came out and people were going crazy and waiting in long lines for that, I thought that was stupid. I thought that was absolutely.
I would agree with that.
You know what? That's what started the freaking COVID.
And then all of a sudden there was a Popeyes like in my area, and it's like you drive by when you're hungry. And like,
there are no fried chicken places in Whitesville.
I don't live in Whitesville. I promise you that, bro. I promise you that. Do you not know where I grew up? I did not grow up in Whitesville, bro.
I know.
I remember when I went to college. I went to college at Boston University, and your freshman year, like everyone's got their like high school yearbooks. Like, oh, let's look at your yearbooks and stuff. And I remember everyone looking at my yearbook, and they're like, a lot of black people. I'm like,
where'd you go to school?
I grew up in the country with a lot of black people, and I thought nothing of it. And then I was like, what? These were all rich white kids from dude, Luther, you'll appreciate this. My one good friend is from Highland Park, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago.
That is?
That's where
Michael lives.
That's where Michael Jordan lives. One
Right.
of his friends used to drag race him. Okay, like this is what I'm talking about. This is the people that went to Boston University. It wasn't a lot of people like me that went from a normal. And I'm like, yeah, I also know what it's like to be around black people. Like I like they're normal people. Like
you're like, wait, you never went to a black person's house?
These people, like these are people that went to a high school that were like, oh, that's the black kid. There wasn't that. There was a bunch of black kids, and they were my friends, and I was cool with
like
them.
the kid from Charlie Brown, the one black kid. What's his name?
The Franklin.
Franklin.
Like, oh, there's Franklin.
Franklin.
I didn't think anything of it. Like, they were like, oh my God, I got a lot of black people in your high school. I'm like, I don't know. We were like, I wouldn't say 50-50, but it's probably like 60-40. And I was like, yeah, I grew up not being afraid of them because they're normal people like you are.
I talked to
those
guys a lot in school.
Yeah. And there was some that were assholes.
Right.
And there was some that were white assholes.
Assholes. Right. Dude, I told you, my grandma used to tell us to take people as they are. She was basically telling me that they're assholes on both sides.
Yeah,
you're gonna meet some assholes that look like you.
Yeah, exactly. There's some cool white people. There's some white pricks. There's some white racist pricks, and we had tons of them.
There's, and I use that all the time. Grandmama used to say, "Take people as they are."
Yeah,
and I didn't know what that meant when I was 6, and I got older, and I was like, I know what the hell that smart old lady was saying to me.
Yes.
I know what she was saying to me. She would teach us all that, and we would get along. Like, I would get along with who I liked. Exactly. And if I didn't like you, I didn't like you. I don't like whatever you, I mean, I know your skin brown, your skin pink, like Cam calls it, and I don't like you.
Your son says that white people are pink?
Cam says most black people are brown. Cam is like, what? Hey, Dad, why do people always call people colors that they aren't? That's exactly what he says.
And you know what's funny too? And I guarantee you see this with Cam, who's an 8-year-old, and my daughter Nellie is 5. They only know what you tell them. Like, so we went. You remember Ocean City?
Mm-hmm.
What, Ocean City, New Jersey?
New Jersey.
Yeah. And we were on the boardwalk. This is about a month and a half ago. And she would go in and she can, dude, you know how they play grandmom. Dude, they play grandmom like a goddamn fiddle. Like, it's not even close. It's ridiculous. And she's like, hey, Gogum, let's go into this store. Let's just see what's. And she bought 2 different princesses that weekend. And they were both black. She didn't say anything about it.
She didn't
say that's what she wanted.
Right.
Nobody said anything about it. And I was like, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's how Cam is, man. Cam is like and like I was saying, he was like that. Why do they call people colors that they aren't? He was like, he's not really black. He was like, he's like, the one guy was brown because it was like the news on, and Cam is on Lego and he's watching something. And of course, when they start that type of show or whatever kind of heavy, I turn it, right? But I'm like doing the dishes or something, and Cam, and he looks up, and I was like, ooh, he's focused in on it. And he was like, why do they call people colors that they are? The guy is brown, and most of the people are brown. He's like, that guy isn't even white.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not even white. Cam said, when I do my crayon, get my crayon and do like my friends and stuff, none of them are white. He said I usually use the pink one.
So he calls them pink.
And but he's not, when you get older, you learn stuff. But Cam isn't like, he's like, I like this kid, or I like that other kid, or that other kid kind of gets on my nerves. He's mean. He doesn't go like the brown kid because I'm kind of brown.
That mother effing honky.
Exactly.
Up the street. Like his dad says.
I don't like that hunky. Like, Cam, what were you watching? Oh, that was on YouTube. Cam,
no, but it's funny though. Like, they only know what you teach them.
And then they learn stuff outside the house, and you gotta reel it in once you hear it, and you go, no, 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 no. You're not doing that, bro.
Yeah.
We don't do that. I mean, at some point they're gonna become themselves, but as long as I'm teaching, like, we don't do that, man.
Well, you teach hate and racism in your house. Other than that, I think he's going to be fine. Really.
I
I
know.
mean, I've taught Ellie to only hate black people,
Right.
not gay, not Asian, not
Just black.
trans, nothing, just black, just hate black people.
Listen, as
And she's
long
done a
as
good job so far. She's done a very good job so
well, as long as there's no investigation, they won't see my emails. So,
far. Dude, you want to wrap it up for this week?
are we gonna wrap this show out without talking about Gruden?
No, we as long as Zach, are you hanging out?
That guy hit the
Where's
triple
Zach?
crown of bigotry, bro.
Dude.
He hit the triple crown.
So to me, okay, let's start from the beginning. When he says, when I saw it in writing, Damaris Smith, he said basically Damaris,
Dunbar Smith.
Dunbar,
You saw how he spelled it?
huge lips, looks like Michelin tires.
tires.
And when I first saw that, I just thought this is despicable because
But-
he didn't capitalize Michelin. That's a proper name, and you capitalize it, and that's poor writing. That you don't write that way.
You don't write.
And then I thought maybe this is also, in addition to that, racist.
Well, you heard his excuse, right? You stupid. You heard his excuse. He said that's what he called liars. They have rubber lips. Everything they say bounce back, right? And then I read what he said, and I was like,
wouldn't do.
Listen, we talked about this last night, and I told you that I had never encountered. I told you I thought Gruden was an asshole, but
you hated Gruden.
I didn't encounter any,
but not for racist reasons.
No, it's not like he was going to be some outright racist on the field, but I never encountered anything. I'm not gonna say that. Now, then I read that and I was like, oh man, I know it's a private email, and sometimes we make inappropriate jokes on email, right? We make text or email. We'll joke with each other because we know each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, that's not what that is. And then the other things come out, and you're like, he feels really comfortable saying a lot of stuff.
And to whom?
Bruce Allen.
Somebody that you're comfortable saying that to, that you think is okay to say that to.
Yep.
To that degree, you're almost culpable. And I'm going to use
probably like, what am I laughing at? Because our producer wrote, I don't hate black people. I hate everyone.
Oh, yeah. I told you that last night.
But yeah, Bruce Allen was okay with it. That was his guy. Look, man.
But to refer to okay, so just
he called Goodell. Can we say it? I don't even want to say it.
But you're allowed. You're
F word. He called him I'm like, you called a man.
I'm going to say it, so you might as well.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say it.
Well, I'm quoting someone. He called Goodell a faggot.
Yes, and I want to use that word just for the affectation of it. I really do. I think that word is abhorrent. But for you to say that, like, Luther, you and I have had, if anyone saw the text messages between Luther and I, we would never work in any capacity ever again. We say completely raunchy, terrible things to each other. Right. And it's between you and I, and we get it. That's fine. That's whatever. And we're joking. To put in an email.
On a company email.
Luther, you and I, as bad as we are with each other, I've never called you a faggot.
Never.
And you never called me a faggot. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Dude, because he has to work with so many people, so many men. it's just natural that you're going to have men on your team that are gay, even if they're not out. It's just by pure ratio.
But even if you and I said it to each other, we're kidding. Like he referred to Michael Sam, who was known to be gay.
What
Like
did he say? He said he forced Jeff Fisher to draft a queer. Or he shouldn't have forced Jeff Fisher to draft a queer. Like, John, why do you care? Like,
and I have no problem saying it in this capacity because this guy said it, and I want it to be said. This is awful. This is terrible that you would use this language. It's terrible.
What do you expect? He was a color analyst at the time.
A colored analyst.
So I guess Tarico and Dungy have to, walk their apologies.
Well, and Tarico said, in the 7 years I was with him, and we were together a lot, and I believe that. He was like, I never saw it. And I'm thinking, Luther, I've known you for 8 years or so. If I wanted to be a racist, you wouldn't know it.
You're right. You're not.
I wouldn't be dumb enough to say it to your face. I'm not stupid.
Listen, again, the serial killers. I'm always going back.
Right.
Your neighbors always say he was the nicest guy. He played with my kids. He babysat my kids. He helped me with groceries. He
Derek
fixed
always
my
seemed
roof.
like a good guy.
While he was murdering people and burying them under the house.
Yeah.
They're
and by
not
the way,
going to
that
show you. Listen,
by the way, that person was white. By the way. I don't know a black person ever that's done that. I really don't. That is such a white thing to do. It really is.
It's so bad, dude.
It is. That's not a black person thing to do. You would disagree with me? Black people don't chop up multiple people and put them under their house. They don't. That's a white thing to do. I'm right.
You're gonna get fired.
Micah's
resigning after the show.
Look. If somebody robbed a convenience store, all right, yeah, probably a black guy. But chopped up 17 people and put them under the house, yeah, that's a white dude.
Dude, first off,
we have different crimes. We have different crimes.
How do you like saw up a dude?
I don't
listen.
know.
When my grandma fillets fish and gotta cut the head off, and I used to be grossed out as a kid.
Yeah.
And these dudes are cutting up people.
I don't know.
After they kill them. And the worst are we're going down like way down a rabbit hole.
We're not even talking about sports anymore.
The necrophiles. I was reading the Ann Rule book on Ted Bundy, and he was helping to catch the Green River Killer, and he said,
I know the Green River Killer. He killed like 58 people.
He said maybe you should. He said, I know obviously this is bad. If you find a body, might leave it there because they're gonna go back and try to have sex with them. And they're like, why? Because is that what you did? They did that. The one guy, I can't remember the book. He said he went back for one and he couldn't do it that time because it was already maggots or whatever, or something like that. And I kind of threw up in my mouth. I was doing an audio book because I was driving and I turned music on. Dude, because I'm like, what? Dude, if there's a smell, I can't even go. I like, dude, I tasted a little bit of throw up. I was so disgusted.
Necrophilia also implies that you killed someone, which I can't even get that. I can't even get
past that part. And then after you do that, and then Jeffrey Dahmer, he's like, dude, you're eating them and you're like cutting off the penis, and it's like, dude.
But why? So why are we so fascinated with that stuff?
I don't know because it's people are a lot
I
of
think
times
it's so crazy that
fascinating with things you can't do. Like we can't
exactly.
be that great at basketball, right? As much as I think I'm good, I'm fascinated because I can't be that good. I'm also fascinated because I can't be that good at football. I know I play professionally, but some of these guys are just so good. They're just better than me, right? I'm fascinated. I'm also fascinated by the fact that women can have babies. If I was a chick, you weren't touching me. I'd be a nun. You ain't. There's no baby growing and coming out of this, right? I'm fascinated at the strength of women, right? And then on the other side, I'm fascinated at the absolute insanity of some people. Like kill someone because they disrespected them, or rape kid or pedophile. You're pedophile, murderer, and necrophiliac. Like all of that.
They're like, oh, you see a news story that they're like, oh, he killed his 3-year-old son. Could you imagine?
Mm-mm.
I mean, I couldn't.
So those are the stories that, like, I'm telling you.
Should we share one a week? Should we share one a week?
We could. I listen to a lot of books.
Do you know who Ed Gain is? Do you know who Ed Gain is?
Yes, Psycho. Yes, dude. So, and the thing about Ed Gein, or however you pronounce his name, I think he only killed like 3 people. I say only
but
killed.
He wore their skin on his face.
No, he would go and grave rob. He didn't kill that many people, and I know I'm making him sound good because he only killed a couple people.
Let's not kill Ed Gein here.
Micah, he would go and rob graves for the skin.
Yeah, and wear their face.
And dude, and he had in his house, he had like a lamp made of skin, people's skin. It was like leather. And dude.
I remember. I don't know if you remember a band called the Bloodhound Gang. They had a lyric that said, "Because I'm in your face like Ed Gein." Like, that's so messed up.
Dude,
that's how I learned who Ed Gein was.
Dude, it's some of the stories like the Hillside Stranglers, the 2 cousins,
the Zodiac Killer.
What was wrong with those dudes?
Like a friend of mine was the guy that was the one that got the shot of Richard Ramirez. The
Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker. That shot of him in the back of the car was a friend of mine, was the only one that got that shot.
Wow.
And sadly, Pete died in February, which hurts, but whatever. A lot of that stuff. Why do we find it fascinating?
Because it's something we won't do, and we want to learn what's going on.
Right.
I want to know what's going on in somebody else's head.
We're going to have to pick it up because Zach, our producer, is giving us crap because I guess he has big plans to go out or something
and kill somebody tonight.
He has big plans. He's got to go kill someone tonight. Zach, is that the truth?
All this serial killer talk has really got me thinking some way.
All right, look, Luther will wrap
dark
it up.
out. It's like, when's the best time to strike?
Look, we'll wrap it up, and we'll talk to you later. And look, for Luther Broughton, I'm Michael Warren.
Next time.
Yeah, forget sports. Who cares? And thank you to Zach Cundiff for dealing with our bullshit. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next
my
week.
Name.
Hey, look, you're our producer. What do you want to say?
I know. All right, Johnny Gilbert. Later, guys.
Later, Richard Ramirez.